things. I got so Belichick.
Twice when I was fishing.
So let's do this. But before we do this, I got a little surprise for everybody here on the Hot Take Court. So give me a quick second here. As we go on the Hot Take Court, it is Matt O'Brien versus Rich Mays. Rich, you are going to be the prosecutor, saying that you do not believe that the student athletes should get paid. Matt believes they should. Am I correct, boys?
Yeah, they absolutely should, but we'll wait for when court's in session, if that's okay, Your Honor.
I'll allow it. I'm gonna abuse the shit out of my power today this week.
You are a judge. You are one of the Supreme Court armchair sports guys judge.
I'm like Kavanaugh.
Yeah. So I just have to create
you like your beer.
doubt. I only have to...
Court is now in session.
Oh my God.
Court is now in session. The honorable GJ Mitchell and Mike LaChance are the judges today. So court is now in session.
I could probably try to top with the hair. I'm thinking.
He's gonna say.
Oh wow, yeah, you can, Mike. Nice. That's pretty good.
Get there, right? Almost there.
There we are. We are good to go. Got the gavel. Got the official Armchair Sports Guys block. We're good to go.
Oh my God, dude. That's
I didn't spend any money or time on this segment. I just happened to show up.
This is the best haircut I have ever
prop
had.
Budget is zero.
This is the best haircut I have ever had in my life, ladies and gentlemen. This is delicious.
Nicest head of hair.
Drink it in, boys.
Rich, I don't have a wardrobe budget either.
Tomorrow.
So where do you think I got it from? I had to weave it together. So I'm going to start. We got 3 minutes on the clock. I said, Rich, you are the defendant, correct?
No, I just have to create reasonable doubt, right?
All right. So yeah, well, yes.
He's giving his case, and I'm shooting him down.
Yep. So as the prosecutor,
outstanding.
Prosecution, you have the first 3 minutes, and then after the 3 minutes, it'll go to Matt, who'll have his 3 minutes. I'll give you guys both closing arguments.
Wait, what? I thought I was rebuttaling against the idea that they should be paid. I'm the leadoff batter.
Yeah, you're the leadoff batter. Yeah.
All right, fine, whatever. Fuck these kids. They shouldn't get
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
Sure, go ahead.
Sidebar.
No, thank you.
Under Code 32A, Block B, Paragraph 7, the prosecution should absolutely know what he should be prosecuting against. And I think this entire case should be thrown out on the unpreparedness of the prosecutor. And
the prosecutor is plenty prepared. I got
32A. That was a very
32A.
well thought out, lucid comment. Overruled.
Yeah.
Your Honor.
I'll allow it.
So, Rich, you are going to start. The two Utes. So you're going to start. You have the floor. You got 3 minutes. Again, this is how it works here in Hot Take Court. Each defendant in prosecution, they get 3 minutes each. They'll get closing arguments, and then the judges, as again, it is the Honorable Mike LaChance and the Honorable GJ Mitchell, are going to give their verdict. So, boys, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Rich, sure. You are good to go starting now.
Student athletes should absolutely not be paid. There's a number of reasons why that should be. Number one, for the most part, especially when it comes to football and basketball, those players are already there for free, living for free, being fed for free, getting to train for their profession basically for free. Secondly, well, no, actually that goes right in there. Scholarship athletes, room and board, they're already receiving compensation. I said that high percentage of these kids are recruited from all over, but many articles have been written stating that a high number of them come from inner cities. So you know that they're just, they're for it because they want to get paid. They're in bad situations and they want to get out as fast as possible. But you know what? The main point of going to college is for the education. I understand that, the reality of it is that the student athletes, it's more athlete than student instead of the other way around. But in reality, they're there for college. They're there to prepare for the future. It's not just about sports. What if they get injured? What, is there a lot of money to be made in pool management there, Andy Katzenmoyer? Maybe you should have thought about that. or any of these other players who are projected to be stars and it doesn't pan out, they're screwed. Paying them, we all know that the NCAA has been mired in many scandals, one after another. Now they're going to trust these guys to dole out money to the players. Who decides what players get paid? Again, like I said, basketball and football are obviously the two biggest college sports. Baseball, not quite so much. Lady sports, they're going to get paid. How are they going to make money? How many people go to their track and field meets? How many people go to their field hockey or volleyball games? What future lies after college for them to be athletes? It should be education first, athletics second, because if they don't have the athletics going forward, they have nothing to fall back on. And focusing on paying these kids, basically takes the education part out of it. What incentive do they have to go to their classes? They're getting paid to be athletes. I think they should leave that for the professional ranks. Stop trying to blur the line between them. These kids already get paid. There's one part of this that I do disagree with, and that's that they're not allowed to have jobs. Some of them, I'm not sure how that gets divided up between what sport, but I do know they're not allowed to have jobs, which is, how those scandals crept in with agents and friends of the family buying them possessions like sneakers, laptops, TVs, giving them cash like Reggie Bush used to get, or any number of other players in different sports. It creates another quagmire that needs to be navigated when it shouldn't even be a question. They're there for education. They're paid. They're paid in a way through the compensation for their room and board. They are given top-notch facilities to train their bodies, to prepare themselves for becoming a professional athlete already. There's no need to pay them. Plus, also, and another point of that is you have to trust the NCAA with all this money. Are they the ones that pay out? Is it the individual schools? Some schools make more money than others.
Time's up. That is 3 minutes. I gave you a little extra, so I'm going to give a little extra to the defense. So, Matt, you are on the clock.
I'll allow it.
Starting now.
College athletes should absolutely get paid. First off, a full-time job. Definition of a full-time job is 40 plus hours a week. The average athlete spends 60 hours a week between in classroom practice, meaning sports classroom, not educational classroom, training room, recovery period, which is the actual medical room, and let's not forget to mention the games. 60 hours a week. Academics. They work for the National Collegiate Athletic Association, also known as the NCAA, who in 2017, just on one sport alone, basketball, made over $1 billion off those athletes. $1 billion. The average coach in 40 out of the 50 states made between $4 million and $9 million a year. Now, you spread that out over 32 coaches per football team, they're still raking in six figures. So you have possibly a linebackers coach or a quarterback coach making a six-figure salary when he's just putting in. He doesn't have to go to class. He goes to his meetings, etc. He puts in his 40 hours a week. He takes home 6 figures plus. Meanwhile, the college student athlete gets zero. Now, I agree with you. The point for full scholarships, but there's also half scholarships. There's quarter scholarships. There's 1 year, 2 semesters free. All that happy thing. However, they can't get jobs because they don't have the time. When are they supposed to sleep? When are they supposed to focus on their studies? And if they're there for their education, they're getting screwed there too, because they have to take their classes and sometimes their exams when they're on the road. They have to stay there 12 months out of the year to finish and get the credits that they deserve. They're not getting the personal one-on-one attention that they get from their professor. They're not sitting in the classroom because, you know what, it's more important to play, represent our school, and get the free marketing, which they are the free marketing, which brings in millions of dollars. Now let's go to the advertisers. Nike sold Zion Williams shoe $4,000 per shoe, and one of the shoes snapped on the court. Now, if Zion Williams, a projected first-round player, broke his knee or snapped it, career ending, and couldn't afford to pay his medical bills, prosecutor made up a good point. What do they do if they get hurt? Well, they'll honor the full scholarship and they can continue to get the classroom. However, if Zion wanted to return to playing basketball, he couldn't, because if he couldn't afford to pay his medical bills, even with the compensation NCAA gives them, they give them a certain percentage. If they don't pay their medical bills, even if they're healthy, they can't play. Other $14 billion were made in college sports in 2018 from ticket sales, television contracts, and apparel deals. Hence the Zion Williams Nike. The EA Sports, your college football games, which you guys love, 80 million in 2014. You know who got 80 million? The NCAA. And how is that money spread throughout the college? Well, you have to keep upkeep of the campus. You have to pay the professors. You have to keep the dorms, the buildings, all that stuff. And you have to pay the six-figure salary for the coaches.
All right.
What about the players? What about the players? They're getting screwed.
That's it. All right. So we've heard both arguments. We've heard both arguments. You each got 1 minute to give your rebuttals. And I'm going to start with you, Rich. Go ahead.
Ridiculous. Student athletes get paid already. There's no reason to pay them out of pocket. The NCAA, they make that money. I'm sure they have overhead. I'm sure their executives make exorbitant salaries. The colleges make their money. They hopefully pump it back into the college to upgrade facilities, to offer more scholarships. And if they don't, that's something they should do in lieu of paying athletes, is taking the money they rake in from what these other guys are making and use them to make sure that less popular sports, ladies sports, hell, the fencing team, that all these kids have a chance to participate in a sport of their choice. And those aren't the programs that get cut because they have to make sure the football team gets enough money. So there's a bunch of ways they could spread the money around without resorting to paying the players. More scholarships, higher scholarships, better facilities. They're being trained for their profession for free and giving a top-notch education. Where do they spend all their? Damn it!
That's it.
You just tap me.
Yes, I
Is
did.
that the gavel?
That's it. Yes, it is.
Did it again. It sounded like light. Like
I'll have order on my court. I'll have order.
Yes. Matt, you have
the whole court's out of order.
I'll have
Your
a
Honor,
cheeseburger.
he is just proving my point. He just tried to say that I already said that the money's being spread to facilities, to the professors, to the to the groundskeeping, upkeeping equipment, and all that stuff. You're there to get an education. You're not training for free to go play your profession. What about the kid that is the bench player that is there putting in the same 60 hours that I said, and then makes a great play? He returns a kickoff because the punt returner, the kickoff returner got hurt on the last play, and he wins the national title. But yet he only played that one play. He has to commit the exact same amount of time that the regular players. And let's not forget, what about the jerseys that are being sold? You know how much that was? That on an average, they make over $10 million a year. I'm using Clemson. Let's use Notre Dame. Brady Quinn's jersey still being sold right now, and they don't get the credit, and they're still not getting the education that you. And he has not made a point, Your Honor. He's not that they get the same education as the regular student does.
Most of those players don't
Your
even
Honor,
have
I never interrupted him.
Hey,
I'd like to add 20 more seconds.
Order in the court. That's
you,
it.
Mr. Mays.
That is it.
I have contempt for myself.
He's interrupting me, and I don't get additional time.
I'm sorry. It's a very hot button
I'll
topic.
allow 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds.
I'll have order.
I'll have 20 more seconds goes to Matt. Finish your thought.
Okay. If these players make the schools millions of dollars in the NCAA, and everybody's getting raises, hiring more coaches, promotions within the NCAA, getting six-figure salaries at pretty much almost the same age as the players, and the players are getting nothing but free education, free training facilities. How are they getting education if they can't put their butts in the seats because it's more important to be on the field and make the college millions? Meanwhile, if they get hurt, they're not going to cover them for the medical bills.
All right. That is it.
The players.
That is it. All right. So again, Rich Mays says that the players should not be paid. Matt O'Brien says the players should be paid. Honorable Judge Mike LaChance, what say you?
It's on her able.
On her able? Yes. Go ahead.
I will say Rich has a good point. You're there to do one thing. You're there to play a sport. And the first thing that comes to my mind is we always think of basketball and football and the echelon sports, the top ones. But you get rowing and tennis and all these other sports. So you're going to start divvying up money. Schools are going to lose. Stadiums are going to crumble. That's going to happen. On the flip side, I have always said, if your school is making $1 billion so dollars, $2-3 billion a year, and you pay the students, give them something. You don't pay them millions of dollars. I think something came into rule not too long ago that they were talking about paying student athletes, collegiate athletes. So on this one, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm going with Matt. I think they should get paid. May not get paid as much as professional, but I think they should get paid something. But that has to be dispersed through the entire college, not just the top teams. You can't pay one and not the other. So I absolutely think they should get paid.
Thank you, Honorable LaChance.
So, as for my ruling on
Don't
this,
milk me up.
Although I
That's
do
not a
agree,
visual I want in my head.
order. Although I do agree that you are there to get an education. I do understand that. I do also understand the timing aspect where these students do not have the availability to work jobs. And I do understand, well, if you pay the student athletes, how about paying the other, people that go to the school that can't get jobs or whatnot? Like, what about the regular student? Can they get paid just for being there if they can't get a job or there's nothing available? My thought on this is very simple. Everybody in one way, shape, or form gets some sort of financial aid, usually in grants, scholarships, half scholarships, quarter scholarships, whatever it is. Most everybody qualifies for some sort of student aid. So you're getting some of it paid already. However, if you're a student athlete and you are literally working 40 to 60 hours on a craft, on something that could pay you millions of dollars in the future, if you are the 1% of the 1% of the 1% that makes it to the professional level in your God-gifted talent of, having that ability, you should still be allowed to have some money in your pocket and not keep hitting your friends up, your family up, or have to put out a GoFundMe page just so you can go out and enjoy some tacos with your buddies on a Thursday night to let off some steam after you finish your finals. So there has to be a way to pay the players, and I think it starts with getting rid of the NCAA as an institution because of how corrupt they are. I'm not sure who's more corrupt, FIFA or the NCAA, but I think athletes should be getting paid. So Matt, ruling is 2-0. You are the winner.
Up yours. Your honor.
Rich, welcome to my world, puppy.
Whatever.
Rich, you're in contempt. 30 days in the clink.
Yeah, fine.
30 days with George in his room
Would
by
be
himself.
the first time.
Yikes.
Listen, this is a great look for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I should have been a judge before.
Yeah, you're looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, we'll lie to you. It's a good look.
Judge.